Hello, friends. This is B B Arjun, and we shall talk about the types of interview today. After watching this video, you will be able to define what is an interview, and you will be aware of the several types of interview. What is an interview? Let us consider some definitions of interview here. The first definition. The Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary defines interview as a formal meeting at which somebody is asked questions to see if they are suitable for a particular job or for a course of study at a college, university, etc. The next definition is an interview is a conversation between two or more people where questions are asked by the interviewer to elicit facts or statements from the interviewee. Interviewer is a person who asks questions and interviewee is a person who answers questions. To elicit facts means to bring out or to find out or to generate or to obtain facts. A job interview is a formal meeting in which one or more persons question, consult, and evaluate another person. So, friends, these were the definitions. There are several types of interview. Each type have its own virtues and limitations, its pros and cons. There is no right or wrong way to run an interview. What works best for you and your company is important here. Considerations and preparations depend on your industry, business, and the post for which interview is to be conducted, and so on. Interview are standard parts of journalism. They are also used for quantitative research. There are several types of interview on the basis of their purpose and method of their conduction. We shall see prominent ones here. They are screening interview, telephone interview, one-on-one interview, panel interview, general group interview, sequential or serial interview, mock interview. Let us see these types one by one. The first one is a screening interview. This type of interview is generally conducted by large companies when there is a large number of applicants. The candidates who meet minimum requirement are sent for next round of selection process, while the rest of the candidates are eliminated. This is typically the first phase of selection process. Screening interviews are often conducted by a computer or by an interviewer. The interviewer might be from HRD. HRD means Human Resource Department. The basic purpose here is to eliminate ineligible candidates. Now, here are a few tips for appearing for screening interview. Highlight your qualifications and accomplishments, achievements, etc. Answer questions clearly and succinctly. Succinctly means briefly and to the point, means precisely. Personality is not important at this stage of process, so you need uh, qualification and accomplishments more. The next type is telephone interview. Like screening interview, telephone interviews are also often used to screen candidates in order to narrow the pool of applicants. Those who are found eligible in telephone interview will be invited for in-person interviews. Thus, the weaker candidates can be eliminated at the very beginning of the process. You can ask for rescheduling your telephonic interview at a time that is mutually convenient for you and the interviewer. This will allow you to refresh your memory and to have some time at your hand for better preparations. This type of interview can actually be more accurate than face-to-face interview for judging an applicant's consciousness, intelligence, and his or her interpersonal skills. It is quicker and cheaper than a face-to-face interview. Even a long-distance candidate can have interaction. This is a good way to minimize travel expenses and to save time. You can assess a candidate's telephone manners, but not the other aspects of body language. A prominent drawback of telephone interview is that it is difficult to build a rapport between interviewer and an interviewee via uh, a telephone call only. Moreover, the call could be interrupted due to bad signal, other calls, background noises, etc. Here are a few tips for a telephone interview. You can keep following information ready with you during interview, uh, like your resume, information about the organization, then a short list of your achievements, accomplishments, points that you want to highlight about yourself, your skills, qualifications, etc. A list of questions you may want to ask to interviewer. So you can prepare your list of questions. You may dress up in a formal attire to get into the interview mindset. You may feel more confident if you dress professionally. Have a pen and paper to write notes and questions. Keep a glass of water beside you. You may require uh, it if the interview uh, lasts for more than half an hour. So keep a glass of water as well. The next type is one-on-one interview. It is the most popular and efficient interview format. It is also known as face-to-face interview. You cannot only get up close and personal with each candidate, but also you can keep an eye on their body language. It is traditionally conducted by a direct supervisor. It is often the last step in a series of interviews. The interview may be directive, means having a clear agenda of the interview. Sometimes it may be non-directive, in which open-ended questions are asked. The length is usually from half hour to 1.5 hours. Though a little costly and time consuming, you can dig deeper thoroughly to assess a candidate and test his or her abilities, commitments. A few tips. A variety of interview questions can be asked in this type of interview. Therefore, it is important to make thorough preparations. Try your best to know the job, the company, and know yourself. A panel interview is conducted by two or more interviewers. A panel interview is conducted by two or more interviewers. It is designed to reduce individual interviewers' bias. It is very common for entrance into graduate and professional schools. One member of the panel may ask all of the questions, or individual panel member may take up turns to ask their questions. Each interviewer having different characteristics, strengths, and weaknesses make a fairer judgment together. Thus, all relevant panelists meet together to assess a candidate. Here are a few tips for appearing for panel interview. Make eye contact with the person with whom you are speaking. It means you might be asked a question by a panelist, so you need to peep into his or her eyes. At the same time, you need to be attentive to other members on the panel. Treat them all with equal importance. Be prepared to extend more energy in this setting, as you need to be alert and responding to more people. The next type of interview is general group interview. It is also known as information session. In this type of interview, all the candidates or a group of candidates are interviewed together. Group interviews are conducted to save time when there is a large number of applications for a few job vacancies. A large amount of information regarding job and the organization is provided to candidates. Sometimes a topic is given to discuss among the candidates. In some cases, candidates may be given a task or an activity to perform. The interviewer judges the innovativeness and behavior of each candidate in the group. This process is usually followed by an individual interview. You can assess a wide range of skills of the candidates. All candidates are assessed at once for a number of skills such as teamwork, interpersonal skills, and leadership skills, and so on. Less pressure. There is usually less pressure on candidates and they generate genuine answers. But for a company, it takes a lot of time and a good number of staff is to be employed to carry out such activity. Uh, Here are a few tips. An employer may ask you a well-timed and intelligent question. Your apt answer to it will make you stand out in a group, and that may help the employer to remember you positively. In a sequential interview, you will have several interviews with a different interviewer each time. The candidate either moves from one location to another or stays in one room and while different interviewers join them. It involves a number of first impression opportunities. Every interviewer will ask questions related to his or her department to find out the level of knowledge of a candidate. They also intend to find how consistent, honest, and truthful you are with your answers. At the end of the process, the interviewers meet to evaluate each applicant and make their decision. Uh, a tip for appearing into sequential interview. If you have difficulties in remembering what you have already said to one person, don't hesitate or don't be afraid to ask it again. A mock interview is an emulation of an interview used for training purposes. Emulation means imitation or similar to original one. The interview tries to resemble a real interview as closely as possible. A candidate learns what is expected in a job interview and improve his or her presentation. The mock interview takes about 20 minutes. Many of the questions asked are interview questions from actual employers. Mock interviews are often videotaped, it means they are recorded, and the candidate is shown the tape after the session along with feedback from the interviewer. The coach will provide constructive feedback on all aspects of the interview process. This usually lasts for 1 hour. The mock interview focuses on self knowledge, past experiences, knowledge of the industry, and how well the candidate can convey that information during the interview. The mock interview is a safe place to practice interview skills and gain the confidence and experience of giving an actual employment interview. Here are few more types of interview, and you can search information about them on internet. Behavioral interview, case interview, competency based interview, exit interview, final interview, informal interview, informational interview, off-site interview, on the spot interview or situational interview, restaurant interview, second interview, unstructured job interview, video interview, portfolio based interview, stress interview, and so on. Uh, Here are a few tips for you to dress up for making a positive impact. In an interview, your dress and appearance is responsible for making your first impression. Formal dressing demonstrates that you respect the people and the process of interview. Dressing up well shows the seriousness with which you are taking it up. It boosts your own self confidence. A clean and neat dress will have a good perception of yours. It will show that you take pride in yourself and your position. When meeting with a superior or a client, your professional dress instills confidence in them about your abilities. It also increases the chances for promotion. One has to follow a dress code while working in a formal situation. Always prefer formal to casual dresses. It is better to select more professional and conservative clothing. The appropriate interview attire depends on the industry type in which you will be selected. Apart from this, geographic location and time of the year also influence your choice of dress. Spend some time on internet to search information about the company, industry, and their competitors. It will help you to determine suitable interview outfit. If you don't have an appropriate outfit, then go to a large departmental store and buy suitable clothes. Ensure that your clothes are clean and pressed. Avoid wearing perfume or cologne. Wear makeup and jewelry that are appropriate to the job, company, or industry. Here are some general preparation questions. You can keep their best possible answers ready with you. The questions are: why do you want this job? Why are you the best person for this job? What relevant experience do you have? Why are you interested in working for this company? What can you contribute to this company? What do you know about this company? What challenges are you looking for in a position? Why do you want to work for this company? Why should we hire you? What are your salary requirements? And so on. It is said that a good resume will get you in the doors, but a good interview will get you on the payrolls. So, friends, with this note, we shall stop here. Thank you. Happy learning.